Today we're going to be talking about money.
Cha-ching.
A very sexy topic.
Mm-hmm.
Money mindset, money magic. And not to plug myself, but
Plug away, Sadie.
I just opened up for enrollment my new course, Money Mindset Magick, with my signature combination of mindset work and witchcraft. Wow. Welcome to another episode of Goddess Hangs.
Episode number 12.
Woo! I'm Sadie, obviously.
I'm Juliet, obviously.
We're goddesses.
We're goddesses, and so are you. Welcome to our goddess family.
So I thought, we are 12 episodes in. Maybe for people that are newly joining our audience, we should explain a little bit about what we're about because, it's nice to revisit this. So Juliet and I are both a little newish to the spirituality world, the mindset, the magic, but we became super obsessed, and we felt like these worlds, they're a little intimidating to enter.
Can be a little heavy, can be a little, no, you must do it my way.
Serious. So we thought we'll bring the not necessarily newbie, but the newbie's perspective and a little bit more lighthearted way to approach these things for you.
We are making spirituality fun, accessible, approachable, and might I say, flirty. No.
Flirty and fun.
And if you are new, I would recommend you pop back to episode 1. We tell our whole wild parallel life backstory. In so many ways, we are born literally days apart.
Yep. And, from birth, even though we didn't meet until we were 27
something.
20 something. A lady never tells her age.
And we worked at the same place, the same store, and then we just had these same huge aha breakthrough moments and made extremely identical choices at the same time, and then we ended up here doing a podcast together. And we're also both developing psychic mediums. So
always forget to mention that.
There's a link in our description and in our bios on Instagram. You can book a reading with either of us. So
yes.
Now that that's out of the way.
That's out of the way. Juliet, how are you? How have you been? We actually haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
It has been hard and sad and lonely. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. This is our only social. It's a pandemic.
Yeah.
We only see each other besides our significant others.
And mine leaves for work, 5 days a week.
And mine never leaves. So we have two opposites.
So I'll be like, I wonder what Sadie's doing right now.
I was going a little stir crazy without my Juliet time.
Oh, I felt the same way.
So what's going on? What's been happening the past 2 weeks? What did I miss?
Okay, well, I got a download that I needed a piano because we moved into my new apartment and our new apartment, and it didn't have a piano. And I always lived in my home with my family where I had a piano, and I wasn't getting the work that I wanted to get because I do songwriting and composing. So there were months that were going by and I was not hearing from this particular client, which is my dream client, dream of all dreams. I can't even say what it is. And it occurred to me last week, I was like, oh, it's because I don't have a piano. That's why energetically I'm not in alignment with being a professional composer, because I don't have a piano. Yeah. So I did some research and I thought, I'm going to get a digital piano. It looks like a real piano, but it's a keyboard. You turn it on and off and it's weighted and it's fabulous. And I went on Craigslist and there was one. These go from $2,000 to $4,000. Wow. And this really kind, lovely woman was selling hers for $300. And it was so beautiful. So we drive out to Huntington Beach. Me, Victor, and his very thoughtful cousin, they loaded it into the van, brought it back home. I'm in love. I was playing piano and Victor's making dinner, all this stuff. The next day, I hear from that client and they wanted a composition from me, a song from me. So I was dying to share that with you. And
yeah,
with you
she texted me, so I kind of knew, but I had major chills when you told me that.
It's just, I always heard that phrase, like, don't put the horse before the cart, or maybe I'm messing up the phrase, but it's basically like, look before you leap, and all, you know, no, leap.
Yeah.
Just leap. Put the cart and the cart and the horse in whatever order feels right to you. And trust these like intuitive downloads that come in, because it was so clear. It was like, when you get a piano, the work will come.
Yep.
Because you'll be prepared. And opportunity is when success is when preparation meets opportunity, or something like that. So that was like my big to-do, was bringing home
so cool.
the beautiful piano.
You just have to get in the right frequency, the vibration.
Yes.
You got in the vibration of, I own a piano, I'm ready for work, and your work came to you. And it's not like she contacted them and was like, I have my piano now, I'm ready. They just, it had been months, right?
It had been, I think, maybe November when I last.
Yeah, and so she was like, oh, I'm just not working with this person anymore or something. And then there it was.
And we'll tie this back in just a minute when we like dive into our topic for today.
Yes.
But it was the kind of thing where, you know, obviously this is a job that pays beautifully, and I was ready to earn more. And sometimes you have to invest in something in order to, you know, turn it around or earn more. And I think most times you have to sort of invest first to show that you're serious. So even though I was like ready to earn, I did put out the few $100s, and then in comes the job. So we'll touch more on that. As we get deeper. I also learned that I've been saying the word giraffe wrong my whole life today. I learned that on the drive.
Giraffe?
Yeah, I thought it was a one-syllable word.
Oh, giraffe. Oh,
my friend
giraffe.
was losing it. Irene was losing it on the phone today. She was like, you pronounce it giraffe? Yes. She's like, how do you say?
I can barely hear you say it wrong, though. It's so subtle, because the it's like a syllable and a half. It's a subtle,
a 1.5
double syllable. Yeah.
Same with, okay, what about a Crayola, Crayon?
Crayola crayon.
You
can't put me on the spot. Greg and I were arguing about the word pamphlet yesterday. He kept saying pamphlet, and then I was, you know, you say
pamphlet?
He was saying pamphlet. It's definitely pamphlet, but then he was like, say it, and I was like, I'm saying it wrong now. I don't know. I was panicking.
Pamphlet.
But he was.
What a weird word.
Yeah. Then you start saying something like crayon.
I think you're right.
Crayon.
That was also a 2-syllable.
Crayon.
See, I say crayon. Like, pass me the red crayon. Like, crayon, 1 syllable.
Crayon. What do you guys think? Comment below. Crayon or crayon? Wait, that's definitely not right.
Crayon. Giraffe. Yeah, so I've been saying that wrong my whole life.
Pamphlet.
Pamphlet.
It reminds me of in Step Brothers when they're like, Pam, they're like, is it Pam with 2 M's? Step Brothers, when they're at the interview. I don't know. Obscure
I
reference.
watched that. I don't remember that moment, I'm gonna be honest, but
I have a strange memory for any moment ever that's made me laugh. I will remember it forever.
Oh, that's sweet.
My memory is associated to laughs.
That's good. Mine is associated to drama. But anyways, no, laughs too. So been saying some words wrong. Got a piano. What else is new that I wanted to tell you about? Oh, I've been researching. I keep buying more plants. Keep bringing home more crystals. Speaking of crystals, we're wearing some very beautiful necklaces
we
today.
have friendship necklaces now. This little flower agate, like, donut.
Ooh, it's hard to see, but it's a really pretty little donut.
Maybe we can take a picture of us close up together and insert it right here.
Thank you, Raven's Eye.
Thank you, Raven's Eye Crystal, for our friendship necklaces. Nailed it.
And our bundle of crystals and our crystal crowns. Thank you so much. I am blown away by your talent, your generosity, and your love of crystals.
Yes,
so
thank you.
So yeah, that's new. I acquired some more stunning crystals and a crystal crown. And I've just had some funny things happen with my psychic medium readings this week.
Yeah?
Just people are so funny, because I'll say, you know, this is exactly what I'm being told. And, you know, like, hey, this is the message coming through.
Yeah.
Like, look in there's something about like a chest of drawers and there's like treasure inside. And people's knee-jerk reaction is to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a thing. And I said, lately it's been coming through so strong. So I'll say, you know what, just sit with it. Like, let's reconvene in a couple hours. And I got a message this morning that was like, oh my God, I didn't even think that that might mean this particular dresser. And I opened it up and inside was very valuable jewelry and a plot of land that nobody knew that my father owned, and just all
A plot of land, damn.
And I was like, okay. It's just, so that's been my funny thing where they're like, that's completely wrong. And I'm like, just give it a second.
Yeah, reading amnesia is very very real, because I've experienced it having the reading where I'm like, no, and then I'm like, oh my God, that's the most obvious thing in the world.
But I was like, no, he's emphasizing there's treasure in the drawers. There's treasure in the drawers.
There's definitely treasure. Follow the map.
Like, oh my God, we own a mountain. I was like, well, hey, what do you know?
That's awesome.
And I was researching like pets that I could sneak into my place, like bunnies.
I was thinking about
or a rat.
A bird.
I love birds. Victor would lose his mind. They live a really long time,
so it's quite the
if I brought a bird home. The neighbors would hear it, and
that's true.
Most importantly, Victor would lose his mind. So I can't bring a bird home.
No birds.
I'd be like, look at the
I just missed the little bird that was our friend. That was fun to have a little bird around. Yeah.
Yes, it was very special. They do live for freaking ever. It's like if you you gotta be careful.
It's a problem with the parrots. They outlive their owners, and then no one wants to adopt an old parrot. It's really sad.
Oh my
I remember talking to a lady with a parrot in a parking lot once.
That sounds like an indie band. Like,
a parrot.
Hey, you guys, welcome to our show. Thanks for coming on to our show. We're Parrot in a Parking Lot.
That's a good band name. If there's any musicians out there, go ahead and take it.
Thank your bartenders.
Tip your waitresses.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I meant to say. Let's give it up for the band that played before. That was always what I did. It's like, if you wanted to make friends, you always had to go up and say, like, let's hear it for that last band, even if you like weren't there to see them.
Yeah. Totally.
Anyways, what's new with you?
I always ask this question and then I'm like, oh shit, what's new with me? Well, Craig was sick last week, but he did not have COVID. We got tested, but he had a fever for 5 days. I was more sick than him during COVID time, and he was that sick this time. Like, he was more sick than when he had COVID. It was crazy. So I spent the past week taking care of him.
Baby Craig.
He's the loudest sick person in the world.
No.
He did it during COVID too. He just moans all day. And I'm like, oh, no. I'm sorry you're feeling bad, but can you stop it?
Could you be miserable a little softer?
A little softer. And he was really sick, but I was also like, it's hard to try and write high vibe post to create a course. It's hard when your boyfriend's in the other room going, whoa, oh God, when will the fever break?
Oh no.
It was very dramatic. Yeah, he's a little dramatic when he's sick, but he was very sick. So I spent a lot of time taking care of him. Let's see. There was something and now I can't remember. Great. Oh, I have a cool one that will glide us into today's topic really nicely.
What might it be?
So today we're going to be talking about money.
Cha-ching.
A very sexy topic. Money mindset, money magic. And not to plug myself, but
Plug away, Sadie.
I just opened up for enrollment my new course, Money Mindset Magick, with my signature combination of mindset work and witchcraft. Wow. And I've been wanting to make this course for a while, and I just did a course, so I'm doing pretty good. I've been working hard.
Amazing.
But I'm like, I really want to make this course, but I had to fight with myself through some of my own limiting beliefs around like, well, you can't make a course about getting rich if you're not a 6-figure entrepreneur. Like, who are you to do that? You're not there yet. So I was wrestling with that a little bit, and then I was like, this course is going to make me a 6-figure entrepreneur.
Heck
That's
yeah.
the fucking point.
And
Excuse
the people who
my
take
French.
the course.
Exactly. And like, I have it all in me. It's all ready to go. Like, what am I doing? What am I waiting for? So I decided to start making the sales page, get it all rolling. And then I one, had this call to all of a sudden like deep clean my house, get rid of all this stuff I didn't need, dust everything. And that's such a funny thing that happens when all of a sudden you're ready to make space for something new. Money. So I was literally clearing the energy of my entire home. Like I was manic on Sunday. I cleaned for like 14 hours.
Wow.
Like went through everything, got rid of a bunch of stuff, dusted everything, like crazy.
Were you putting trash on the street and then Craig was bringing the trash back in from
Yes.
the street? Okay, I'm just picturing you like going out the back door and putting
and then
things
he's
out,
bringing
and
it back into the garage. Yeah. He does love to pick up trash off the street, but just like threw away more like old makeup and stuff. You gotta like take inventory, all this stuff. Basically it was like an insane, like just like crazy going, which I love when that happens. You just get it all done. It felt so good in here after. And then through doing that, I never open my mail, and it's not a good habit. I keep stuff that looks like maybe I should open it, which isn't very much because everything comes through email now, and I never open it. It just stacks there, and I was like, this is stagnant energy. Let's go through this. Well, so little personal information. In college, I stacked up a bunch of credit card debt. Just found out I could have credit cards and went shopping a lot. It was very irresponsible. I have them all almost paid off except for one, and there's just a few $1,000s on it. It's like a little over $2,000. So I'm like getting there. It's very exciting. Like I'm gonna have it pay all that bullshit paid off this year. I open a piece of mail and it says, "Hey, because of I don't know, I guess pandemic stuff going on, they're like, we'd like to help you pay this off. If you give us $300, you're done."
Oh my God.
So I manifested like $2,200.
Oh my God.
Because I don't have to pay back. I think there's like 25 something on the credit card. And they're like, yeah, just give us $300. We'll call it good.
What company is that? Because that's who I'd like to sign up with.
Well, I've heard of people calling and asking nowadays, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And then I finally opened this mail. It's through Chase. It's a Visa through Chase.
Amazing.
Yeah. So because I took my like leap of faith in making my course, and it wasn't even about selling the spots in the course. It was just about taking the action, getting in the frequency, getting in the vibration, saying, yep, I'm going to be a rich witch, a rich bitch. Let's do this. And then I all of a sudden got this inspiration to clean everything. I got this inspiration to go through my mail. I went through it. I found this. I probably would have just tossed it after a while. I never got that email about it or anything. It was in my mail that I never check, and I did it. And I was like, fuck yeah, I manifested $2,000 this weekend. So,
I love that.
Yeah, that was very cool. Yeah. So that's my big thing. And without further ado, let's talk about money.
Money. Do 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 do. That's not the song. Money. That's our song today.
That's our money.
Do you want to give us just? I know everybody's dying to know who's watching the video. What's on this table aside from our beverages?
So and I actually posted about this on my Instagram today, which it'll be a week back. You'll have to look when this episode comes out. But on my altar, I have 2 altars. On my altar in my room that I don't work on, one's like a working one and one's just chilling. I have a little money corner. Now your money corner, I think we've discussed with the crystals, it's the back left corner of your desk or altar or room or home. And so I keep this stack of $101 bills. You could do bigger bills to get, a higher, I don't know, will it matter with the frequency? Like if you want that, but I just feel like it's safer to just have the singles.
I'm going to show them a close-up.
Sitting out.
Everybody loves looking at money.
But it's just a little trick because it looks like a lot of money. And I'm visually seeing it every day. Yeah, look at all that money.
Right? This looks
and
like
it's just
$20,000.
Yeah, it's just $100. It's no big deal. If someone steals it, whatever.
Just stop by Sadie's house.
Yep.
And look for the stack of ones.
But it's there. Looking at it makes me feel abundant because I see a big old stack of money. I stack citrine, pyrite, and tiger's eye on it because those are abundance crystals, meaning they vibrate at a frequency that attracts abundance. So I keep those stacked on there. And then I just pulled some more of my abundance crystals. We got my magical citrine that y'all might remember from the crystal episode.
I love that
little
one.
pyrite tiger's eye. This big mama is just...
Oh, we didn't get to show this one last week.
Yeah,
maybe this is like a close-up moment. Look at
I'll
this.
go up there.
This was Sadie's Valentine's Day treat. A clear quartz beauty. Clear quartz is amazing for magnifying, amplifying, and manifesting. So it's great, like Sadie just mentioned, to put it by the money.
Oh, and I also have... This is...
Oh, just a shell filled with more crystals.
Just a shell filled. Because, okay, so something with your altar... Little hot tip, it's good to have all of the elements on it. So your crystals are the earth element, a candle would be the fire element, feather, air, and then shells are great for the water element.
Nice. And then what's this?
Oh, this is my Rich Witch spray from Spellbinding. It smells like sage and peppermint, and this is the cutest ever. It's got little chips of citrine and aventurine in it. I'll show you up close.
Sadie brings the bottle to the camera. Oh my god, I love when they put crystals inside of bottles of things.
I know, because then I get to keep them afterwards, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'm excited. So yeah, thank you, Spellbinding. That was a gift. And I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I'm spraying it on myself constantly.
I love it. I love how there's like everyday things you can do to just up that abundance money thing. And I also want to mention that I always grew up with like, you never bring up, and I think in many cases it's still true, you never bring up politics, religion, or money. Like that's just not what you talk to people about. So I think some people maybe saw the money topic and they were like, oh, you know, we don't talk about that. But it's really time for women, particularly, to have like a comfortability to talk about money, to learn about money, to get into the game, to
make a lot of money.
To make a lot of money.
Make more than your boo if you have a male boo.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Like, I want to be the rich husband.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know, and to not feel guilty about that or bad about that. And
that's the classic Cher quote where she's like, Mom, I am a rich man.
Yes. I got like chills when I saw
every time
that.
It circles around Instagram and TikTok every few months. I feel like that interview, and she says that, like, Mom said settle down with a rich man, and I said, Mom, I am a rich man. But every time gets me.
So this episode is to invite you into the money conversation and to sort of share things about it that you may not have heard, because until Sadie and I like really got into the money mentality and the money mindset, I had never looked at it. It was just, in fact, I didn't
want to think about it.
No,
I didn't want to talk about it. It gave me anxiety.
And I didn't want it. I wanted to like be like a hippie on a commune that was like, I don't need it.
I always said if I could just have slightly more than enough, I'd be happy. Because I always felt like I just had just enough. Like I would just make it perfectly to the next payday. Just exactly enough. And I was like, I just want a little bit more than enough. That's all I want. I'm like, no, I want a lot more than enough. I want to be rich. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
I am a multimillionaire.
Me too. You are as well. And it's that thing of like, I think somewhere, and I wasn't raised like terribly religious or anything, but there's this evilness kind of placed around money, or people with money are bad, or people with
money is the root of all evil. People say that all the time.
Or they're filthy rich, or I wouldn't want to be like those snooty rich people. And it's and if you keep talking about people who have money like that, if you keep talking about money in general like that, you will always repel it away from you. When money is in the hands of like good-hearted women, we get to have freedom. We get to be comfortable. We get to do what we like. We get to serve people. We get to be our best selves. So it's been this amazing shift over the past like 10, 11 months for the two of us to really, like, Sadie and I love talking about money.
Oh my God, constantly. I'm always like, oh my God, I got another client for this much. Like we talk about money all day long. Yes. Oh my God, I made this much off of readings this week. Like,
and it's
we're always
exciting.
talking about it. We're
and
not
it's
like
a game.
Yeah, and we're cheering each other on. We're like, fuck yeah, like you made more this week than last month or whatever it is. It's awesome. And to kind of go back to money is the root of all evil. Like money is completely neutral. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just simply a resource.
It's a tool.
It's
paper.
It's this, and there's not only just a certain amount, and so you only get a tiny piece.
Right.
Like good people do good things with money, bad people do bad things with money, just like bad people do bad things without money and good people do good things without money. Good and bad doesn't need to be a part of the conversation. Everyone here listening, I feel pretty confident to say, is a good person.
Yeah.
That would do good things with money. Money is just simply freedom to me. I feel like that's ultimately what it is. Like I want to travel. I want to take my family on cool trips. I want to help my dad retire early. That's one of my really big goals because he worked so long. He's still working in jobs that he's just not really fulfilled in, and he's been so generous, you know, supporting me and our family for so long. I'm like, that's one of my goals. When I make more, I can give more to causes and charities and things that are important to me. But it's not even about that. It's just like, no, I just deserve to live a good life and travel and see the world and live in a beautiful home that I want to live in, and I get to have all those things.
And you get to want it because you do, and you get to earn it because you can, and you get to do, and really it's nobody's business what you do with it. You know what I mean? So I think as women in particular, we feel like there has to be like some high service connected to like what we do with our money and how we bring our money in. And it's like you're allowed to just earn because you are, and you're allowed to just have it because you can. And
the work you're doing is the high service.
Yeah, whatever it is. Whether you're selling like life-changing courses or like a scrunchie you believe in more than anything in the world.
It brings
like,
someone joy.
Yeah.
That's what like we kind of do, you know, this mindset work, trying to coach people, and that's a little bit more like obviously meaningful, but also like when you write a song, that song helps people feel emotions. That's a really important thing that music does for people. My boyfriend's a comedian. He makes people laugh. Laughter is,
it's like medicine.
Comedy has gotten me through my darkest days. Like whatever you do, whatever your thing is, or the thing you wish you could be doing, I guarantee it brings joy to someone. It has some sort of healing, powerful effect that you're not recognizing. The scrunchie. When I have a scrunchie on my wrist, I feel joy. I feel like a kid again.
And whatever, let's say he was just saying, like whatever you feel called to, there's probably a way to monetize it. No matter what it is. There's probably a way to monetize it and not feel guilty about getting paid.
Like you don't have to monetize it, but if you want to, you can. You can have hobbies for the sake of hobbies too. I do a lot of stuff for the fun of it that I could monetize, but that's not what I want to do. But then other stuff that I like to do, I do monetize because that's what I'm choosing.
So the first major point of today's lesson, today's discussion is money is not the root of all evil. Money is a neutral resource. And I think the second thing is there's not a pie in the sky. And if you have more, it takes away from somebody else.
That's very true.
Because I also think we have this anger towards, and maybe this is a controversial opinion, but I think there's a lot of anger towards like the top 10%, the top 1%. And I just don't feel that anger. I understand
that it doesn't serve me to be angry about it. I'm going to just make my own money and live my life.
Right. For me, like seeing that somebody else did it makes me feel like, oh, it's possible to earn that much. So, and that's not to cover up the very real struggles and the way people like their communities, and I truly, like, I don't mean to be blunt, like turning away from that. I just mean I think instead of directing anger at very, very wealthy people, they probably know something about money and have a belief about money that we could learn to lift up ourselves.
And then
that's just
the
my
thing
own
that
opinion.
you are passionate about, that you want to fix, then you can help fix that. Like, I'm very passionate about putting money towards lung cancer because it's the least funded cancer, and I lost my mom to lung cancer. So I want to be rich so I can make sure no one else has to go through that, because it's gut-wrenching to hear that because it's a smoker's disease, my mom didn't have treatment because no one would study it because people don't have pity for lung cancer. My mom wasn't a smoker, but smokers obviously also don't deserve to die.
Right.
So that's something that's like, or, you know, there's other things I give to too, but if you need to direct that energy somewhere, direct it towards yourself, make the money and give it to who
Yes.
you know, it's just,
Yes.
money is just this power that we can take a hold of and help who we want to help, and also live our best freaking life.
Yeah. So it's so funny. I feel to talk about money is almost as vulnerable as talking about.
I know, it
some
is
other
a very
things,
vulnerable
because to even
topic.
share that opinion of like, I'm not mad at billionaires.
No, I'm like, oh, it's possible for me to be one too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's honestly how I feel. So yeah, money is not evil. People who have money are not evil because they have money. They might be bad people because they're bad people.
They were
but
just
the
bad
money
to begin
doesn't make
with.
them a bad person. The money might have amplified that in them, but and the more we're allowed to earn. It's allowed. It's okay. There's also a fear that people have of, oh, my gosh, if I out earn my partner, if I out earn my parents, if I out earn, you know what I mean? Like there's this, you know, I want to stay where I know that I'm safe and where I know other people will feel comfortable around me.
Yeah, there is a weird thing where we can't cause discomfort in our loved ones when it comes to money. Whereas it's like,
Right.
what if you make a ton of money and then you get to treat them to cool stuff? You get to take them to Disneyland, or you get to, I don't know, buy your dad a really nice watch or a set of golf clubs. What do dads like? I don't know. You get to buy your mom a diamond necklace. What if you got to do that instead of being like, oh, I don't want to out earn my dad? That would be weird.
Make him feel weird. Like, you know when he'll forget about that? When he's opening his Christmas present. Like, I don't know. I think that's another thing people have. Their ego tells them like, no, let's stay right where we are because we're going to lose our friends. We're going to lose our relationship. All of a sudden, everyone's going to act completely differently around us. And most of the time, that really doesn't happen. I mean, maybe sometimes.
No,
but
and if it does, it just means you outgrew that relationship and it's not for you. If someone's not cheerleading you on, like, that's not very nice.
Right.
Why would you want friends that don't want you to grow? Speaking of family, I think an important aspect of the money work is examining, okay, so like, where do my beliefs come from? Why do I feel like I shouldn't out earn somebody? Why do I feel like I have to, we haven't really touched on this yet, but why do I feel like in order to make a good living, I have to work 40 or more hours a week?
Right.
Where do the beliefs come from, and how do I get rid of them? How do I release that? Would you like to take that away?
Oh, well, I
have some stuff to say about it too, but I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No, it's funny. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Okay, good.
We just have a lot to say about this topic.
we're like talking a mile a minute. We're like,
and also take this note down. When our subconscious hears something enough times, we believe it to be true. And what we believe to be true is something that plays out in front of us until we notice it and we shift it. And we can do that at any time. It's not too late, ever. And one of the things that a lot of us probably heard growing up is, you know, what we've talked about, money is the root of all evil. You can't trust people who have a lot of money. They probably cheated their way to the top. If you can only earn, you know, the only way to get there is to work really, 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 really hard. And let's unpack that one. So when I was 25, I was working really, 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 really hard. I was teaching preschool.
And were you rich?
Oh, absolutely not. I was teaching preschool at $14 an hour from 8 to 1:30. Then I would either go immediately after to be a personal assistant or be a nanny. and I would get home totally zonked out. And then I was getting sick left and right because I was around all these little kids and I was wearing myself out. And I think maybe I would earn maybe $600 a week, maybe, which to some people might sound like a dream, like, oh my God, $600. Like, it's all so relative. And now,
but that's a lot of work to put in for that amount of money.
And I was so stressed out all the time because, you know, my friends wanted to go out. Victor wanted to go out at night, and I'd be like, I gotta get up so early to teach. Like, and so I would not go to most things, or I would go and I would be miserable and I would leave early, and I was never really relaxed or happy. And
you didn't get to enjoy your money that you had. Yeah.
No. And so now, 4 years later, almost, you know, exactly 4 years later, I work less hours than I've ever worked in my life, and I earn more than that a week because I've shifted what I believe. Like, it's not that I don't put, you know, care and love into what I do. I've just upped my value and what I want to charge for the things that I do and the things that I provide and the songs that I write and the services that I sell and the everything.
You work smarter, not harder.
Yes. And so there's an affirmation that I love, which is the more fun I have, the more money I make. The more I play, the more money I make. The more I relax, the more money I make. And as long as you believe that, that is what will happen. And I used to feel so guilty if if it was a Wednesday and I wasn't working for 10 hours. I was like, oh my God. But I also remember too, around that time, maybe there was a holiday or a day off, and I would see people, like adults, like on the beach on like a Tuesday afternoon, and I would think, God, what do they do for a living that allows them to be at the beach on a Tuesday afternoon?
Guess who's now at the beach on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays?
I mean, she's there more often because they live on the ocean.
Also, I live across the street, but I do live across the street from the ocean, and much like Juliet, I work less hours, but I still work really hard, but I work hard about things. I think that's the other thing. When you're in alignment with what you want to be doing, the money comes in easier. It
comes in easier, and it feels really good, and the time just passes quickly. Like, I remember looking at the clock, and it was like 9 minutes would have passed. And it was like, all like,
you're
really
like, only 2 more hours, only 1 more hour, only 45 more, only 44 more minutes, only 43 more minutes.
Right. And now we like get in flow with what we love doing, and it's been 3 hours. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll have a day where I'll sit and work for 12 hours straight. I do have those days, but I don't notice that I'm doing it because I'm just like in the zone and I'm creating. And then like I've created a whole thing, a new thing that I get to sell. I think when we look to our families, like our parents or your guardians who you were lived with growing up, that you were around the most, and you think about what they taught you, and it's not like that this is bad that they maybe taught you the wrong beliefs. They got their beliefs from their parents and back and back and back. So you're the one that you get to break this generational belief around money. But I know my dad was he's amazing. He works so hard. He saves, he invests really smart. He does a really good job, but he believes really strongly that you gotta find like a corporate company. You gotta climb up that ladder. That's how you have security and safety and you make a good living. And that never spoke to me. And I tried for the past 10 freaking years to do that. I tried. I was like, I want to do this. I want to make my dad proud. I'm trying to listen to him. And so I would work I kept changing jobs because I was like, maybe if I work for a different company, I'll like the same job more.
Right.
No, that's not how it works.
Surprise.
And I did do a really good job. Like I would start with a new company and get promoted right away and all this stuff. I worked in retail for 10 years. But no matter how hard I worked, my income was pretty much still the same. And even when I did get like a little bit of a raise, then somehow my expenses would still match that. When your money mindset is off, no matter how much money you make, you're pretty much going to, like, your expenses are going to end up growing into that really quickly. I found that no matter how hard I worked and the raises I earned and all of that, I would just, then I would get another expense. My monthly expenses would increase somehow. Like, I always was consistently living just enough, paycheck to paycheck, barely able to save, like, so stressed out all the time, because I was trying to live a certain way that, like, it did work for my dad. He doesn't like his jobs, but it did work for my dad in that he has his safety and security that are priority to him, but it didn't work for me. And I was trying to fit into a box that works great for some people, and some people want to do that, and they're inspired to do that, to climb a ladder and, like, work their way up a corporate ladder. That's exciting, that's fulfilling, that works for them. Us too, we're not like that. So our examples are going to be very much surrounding, being entrepreneurs, but you don't have to be an entrepreneur to make more money than you're making now. Where was I going with this? Oh, but if you're like, well, I don't really even know what my beliefs around money are. I never thought about it before. Think about the way your parents spoke about money growing up. I know my parents were always like, save, save, save. We can't spend on anything fun. We got to save, save, save. Where, like, saving is important, but also have some fun with your money. Spending cycles in. You got to spend to, like, make more.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
A lot of us have a tightness around money, and we're afraid to even spend a little bit. Like, the knee jerk at Target or anywhere is to go straight to the clearance rack. Even though if you spent $7 more, you'd get the thing you actually want. But even at the supermarket, you're like, it would be nice to buy the organic vegetables, but I save $5 total on all of my produce if I buy the regular. And it's like, I think you'll be fine. Right. I think you can earn that $5 back. And then really what ends up happening is, if you're always going, and, like, I love finding a deal. Like, so. We love really being thrifty.
We love a bargain. So this isn't about that.
Yeah. But if the item on the sale rack is $15 and I don't love it, and the item not on sale is $25 and I love it, if I get the $15 thing, not only am I sending a message that I don't believe I deserve to spend 10 extra dollars. I don't believe I can easily re-earn 10 extra dollars. Like, there's all these, and you're essentially throwing your $15 away.
Yeah, because you're going to wear that thing once or whatever.
In a way that, because you're not even going to wear the thing. So, what got us on this topic? You said something about...
We have so much to say about this. We keep getting off topic. Like, you cycling your money. Like, you gotta spend a little, enjoy your money.
And that's something I'm still working on. Like, I really wanted these 2 nail polishes yesterday. I know this sounds very trivial, but typically I'd be like, no, they're like $7. And I was like, Juliet, you can buy the nail polish. It's okay. Like,
I'm not like that. I mean, I've had to work the opposite. I need to reel my spending in.
Yeah, Victor's more like that. He'll be like, ooh, and everything. We cannot go to, like, last time I went to Costco, I was like, honey, we need to go with a budget next time. Like, that you cannot buy everything at Costco. Like, I was hoping to go in and spend like $40, and it was like, your total is $259. I was like, what did you put in the cart? So he loves to buy, but I see it in him because he is so free with spending. It comes back just as fast. And so the more that we practice, paying with love, paying with gratitude, paying with excitement, and knowing that every time we pay for something, we are trusting that money is going to come right back to us, and
back
probably
to me tenfold. Yeah. It's all about, if you're like, okay, yeah, this all sounds good. I want to work on my money mindset, and you're starting to make decisions about buying stuff. It's not about being irresponsible and going and spending all your money, but next time you're at the store and you're like, gosh, I really like that. Think about, am I making a decision to buy or not buy this from a scarcity feeling or an abundant feeling? Like, okay, I like that, but I don't feel like I have enough money to buy it. Okay, that might be scarcity, or maybe it's true. Or maybe you're like, I like that, but I've had my eye on the whatever. So I know I'll like that more, and I want to wait for that. I don't know if this is a good example.
No, it is.
Don't make decisions from scarcity of like this fear. This goes back to the feeling that like your ego versus your intuition gives you. Like the ego is like, you can't buy that because you might run out of money for your groceries or your bills or whatever it is. A disaster might come and you won't be ready for it. Or buying something because you're like, this will make me feel really good. This will make me feel abundant. This will make me feel like a bad bee. Let's do it. I just start asking yourself those questions. And what episode did we talk about ego versus intuition? That was How to Be Psychic.
I think so.
Go take a listen or re-listen to that episode and think about, is my intuition what guides me in my spending habits, in my decisions about my budget, or is it my ego? Because it goes back to that same thing. Your ego is going to be very, very scarce. Your intuition is going to be very, very abundant mindset.
And you can do this in little ways. This isn't like, go to Chanel and buy a bag.
I know. I think there's those examples of like, go buy the thing that'll make you feel like you're already a millionaire. I'm like, I'm not going to go buy a Chanel bag.
I'm not getting
I would
Audi
love,
right now.
Yeah, I would love that. But that would be irresponsible. That's an example of
Yes. But do it in little ways. Do it when they say, do you want avocado? It's an extra $1.
Yeah, I do. This is actually, we can talk about some fun ways to do this, because ultimately it's about getting in the frequency of being, I'm going to say, of being a millionaire. Okay. That's my goal. I want to be a millionaire. I need to get in the frequency, the vibration. I need to feel like it's already mine. I'm already there. I already got it. What are ways I can do that are not going to buy a luxury handbag or a car? I used to, because we used to live right next to Melrose Place and there's a bunch of luxury shops there. So I would go and I would buy a coffee from the bougie coffee shop in Melrose Place. So that made me feel abundant because it was overpriced coffee and it was really good. And then I would go window shop and I'd look in the window and I'd be like, those are cute, but not quite my style. Like I would like talk myself through. I would go, they were all closed. It was the pandemic, but I would just window shop and like go, and I would leave feeling like that was a really fun shopping day. Next time I'll come home with something. Like that's a simple way to, window shop, peruse the Louis Vuitton website. I do that sometimes. I really want one of those mini
online
backpacks.
Shopping, quote unquote.
Fill your cart up.
And then close the tab.
I do that shit all the time. I'm like, never mind. Find ways, buy yourself the Starbucks. I think it's so funny how like the older generation is like, if you kids didn't buy Starbucks every day, you'd own a house by now. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. I'm not sure
that's how that works.
But I don't think that's true. If that is something that makes you feel abundant and joyful and you feel good, like, keep doing it. Who cares? Like, it's stuff like that where it's like, oh, I can't go buy the coffee because I'll be broke. That's not true.
Well, okay, so we've talked about a couple different lessons and sections. This one that Sadie's touching on is in the way the boys are being so loud outside. In the way that money has a vibration. These are little ways that we can raise our vibration to match the energy and frequency of money. So it's like Sadie says, you walk down luxurious streets, you position yourself in places, whether or not you spend $1, it's not about spending anything. You position yourself in places where you feel that abundance energy. You walk down Melrose, you drive through Beverly Hills. I mean,
these are all LA examples because we're here, but find the the street in your city, or like I said, you can always go online. I love this. One of my friends, she's just very intuitive to this stuff because she does not study manifestation, but she's like, she manifests everything she wants like immediately. Wow. But she is a brilliant interior designer. And she actually just booked an arena gig. Wow. Like she has her first job this year. She doesn't have to work the rest of the year. She doesn't want to. She's going to. But inspiring. But she would go. So she does like commercial stuff. She would go to like luxury hotels and set up her laptop there in the lobby and work there. Because that's what she wanted to book.
She positioned herself. She put herself in the energy, in the environment.
She's like, these are the kinds of places that I'm going to design, so I'm going to go sit in them. And she doesn't even study this stuff. She just knows to go do it. And I was like, that's freaking cool. So I don't know what your thing is. She was an interior designer for hotels and stuff. So she went and did that. Whatever your thing is, go be in that energy. Find the way to be in that energy.
Even if you go to the most bougie bar, restaurant, whatever in your town, and get like dessert and then leave.
Yeah.
You know, instead of
get a soda,
full meal. Like, and just the waiter might not love you, but it's okay because
leave them a nice tip.
Yeah.
Tipping also, I feel
generously is also.
I tip very generously because I believe it comes back to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ways to be in the frequency of money.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh no, I lost the train of thought. There's just so much stuff. This is why I have a whole organized course. I don't know if we sound like chaos. I feel chaotic because I have so much I want to say on this subject. I think we're doing okay.
I think we're doing
But
all right.
I have a whole course, like I said, that dives deep into like the how to do all of this stuff that we're talking about, and probably touching on some stuff that we're going to end up skipping over. Mm-hmm. But I think the most important thing is to just decide what your relationship to money is, what level of wealth that you are going to have, and just know without a shadow of a doubt that that's who you are, that's what you like. It's just waiting for you to claim it. Like it's already there waiting for you. So I think we both would agree we aspired to be millionaires.
I was just going to say, you're looking at 2 millionaires.
Yes.
Our bank account does not reflect that yet.
But I know
in the spiritual realm, it's done.
It's here, and I just have to go grab it.
I feel the same way.
And we both read Think and Grow Rich, which is a brilliant book, and everyone should read it. Big inspiration for both of us and in my course. But he talks about definiteness of purpose, and that's like the number one thing you need. What are you going to do? And this is how to manifest anything. But I mean, at the end of the day, like manifesting the dream car, well, what requires that? Manifesting money, manifesting your dream home. What does that require? It requires manifesting money.
Back to money.
So whatever you want in life, you know, there are some things like manifesting a soulmate or something that don't have to do with money, but you know, all of those tangible things we're looking to attract, it's money. So I think that's where you can turn your focus to in deciding I'm going to make 6 figures this year. I'm going to make $1 million this in the next, you know, I have actually a date that I decided on. I'm not going to share it on here, but I'll tell you later.
Okay.
By this date. And then you're like, okay, well, that's nice. You can't just decide it and sit there.
Right. Then you take the inspired action and you listen to the nudges that you get, the taps on your shoulder. And really like getting in the habit of making money your friend. When you see a penny on the ground, a quarter on the ground.
God, every time I'm like,
yes, it's so exciting. Pick that. It's so funny. Victor's like, it's a pandemic. Do not pick up the penny. I'm like I'm not going to eat it. Like, it's fine.
I'm putting it in my mouth.
I found a quarter the other day, and you would have thought I was 4 years old. I was like, a whole quarter.
I remember when, let's see, where was Craig? He was it was when he was in Phoenix the first time. This was actually, was it before? Or no, it was during the pandemic. I don't remember. Maybe it was just before it. But he drove to Phoenix, and then I was going to fly and meet him there a day or two later. So I was in the airport, and I remember texting him, and I was like, babe, I found 3 pennies in a row. And he was like, okay.
You gotta tell me next time.
I know. But it was like, it was so cool though, because I had, you know, you pull the bins out to start filling your stuff in line. So I pulled one bin out, 1 penny, pulled the next bin out, another penny, third bin out, 3. So it was very like, the universe was handing me the pennies. Okay. And then my gate, the time changed from, I was supposed to arrive at like 2:18, and then it was like, oh, now arriving at 2:22, and there was a 2:22, and I was like, I'm about to be rich. I am rich. So that was very exciting. So if you guys find pennies and you get excited about it, feel free to, you know what? Put it on your Instagram story and tag us, and we want to reshare
every time
the little bits of change you find.
And then start putting it in your piggy bank. I have a piggy bank, and then every time it fills up, I go to a Coinstar.
You know what's funny? My friend that I told you is just the natural manifester, like amazing. Her whole life has been collecting pennies and she's the most excited I've ever seen a human being be about pennies. And she, again, like, this person does not study this stuff and does not read these books. She just naturally does this. And then I started learning this and I was like, damn, that's why you got rich first.
Well, the universe,
this stuff works.
And our subconscious does not know the difference between 1 penny and $1 million. Money is money is money is money. So when you are grateful and excited about finding the littlest thing, or somebody gifting you $10 or whatever it is, the more excitement and gratitude and joy you feel around money, the more you're going to attract. It is truly like any other law of attraction thing. If you like, it's like the people who climb up in their industry, it's because they're already on that vibration of the next place, so it makes sense to put them in the next spot above other people that they're, you know, competing against. So it's, generally speaking, so it's I'm always excited every time I find a coin. Every time you find a coin, get excited. So
do a little happy dance.
Start going through the world like somebody who already has the kind of money that you desire to have. Get clear about how much you want. Give yourself permission to even want that much. Some people might even get stuck there. Like, oh, it's not okay if I have this much. It's completely fine.
Not selfish. You deserve it.
And it's available to all of us. Get excited about every penny, nickel, dime, quarter you find. Get excited about every dollar you earn. Get excited about every dollar you save. Like when I go to Vaughn's and I swipe the card.
That's manifesting money. When you, like I said, I manifested $2,200 this weekend because I don't have to pay that back. I didn't get the cash, but I manifested that money. So discounts.
Oh my gosh, I love when they say, you know, today you saved $15. I'm like, oh my God, look at me go.
I didn't even know.
I think some people just crinkle it up and throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I'm always like, thank you so much.
Catch yourself when you have beliefs of like, oh, I can't have that, I can't afford that. Switch to, how can I afford that? How can I have that? What are the beliefs in place that are making me feel like that's not possible for me? Do I think money's the root of all evil? Do I think that rich people are nasty? Do I dread
paying my bills? I know bills don't feel fun, but I'm working on this, where when I see my little email of like, my automatic payments go through, oh, you just paid your phone bill, oh, you just, you know, paid this. I'm like, I always stop and I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful that I have a phone that I pay for myself, that, you know, it supports my business. It lets me talk to my friends. They're like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Before I used to go, oh, another $100 out of my bank account. Like, you can't do that with your bills. You got to be like, thank you. I'm so glad that I get to pay that and I get to have that thing.
There was something in Think and Grow Rich that I think I like read over a few times, and it said, when bills come, instead of the typical reaction of like, oh, there goes my money, like here today, gone tomorrow, to have a feeling of, wow, they're actually complimenting me because they trust that I have this money to pay it. Like it's a compliment to receive a bill because they believe that you have that kind of money. And they're trusting you to pay. And so now whenever I get a bill, I've decided to shift it. So instead of being like, well, there goes my $420 for health insurance, which by the way, why does it cost that much? But anyways, now I think, wow, I'm actually flattered that they believe that this is just not a big deal and I can just pay that. So I take bills as a compliment now.
Thank you.
And it took all of the negativity and scarcity and fear away from bills.
Yeah, they're very simple shifts that you can start doing now. That'll make a world of a difference. We've been doing our money work for about a year, and, you know, we both worked in retail together. And then when the pandemic first hit, you know, we got shut down, and I think we both felt pretty panicked. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know when we'd be going back to work, what we were going to do for money. And then it ended up being the most positive thing to happen to us. By the time it was time to go back to work, we were both like, oh no, thank you. we went back for a little bit, but then we were like, I'd rather spend all of this energy, this hard work. And again, not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but if you want to be, or if you don't want to be, but I'm not going to spend all of this energy for someone else to bring in this limitless abundance, and I only get a piece of that pie. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to spend my energy there, and then that's how I have a direct channel to the limitless abundance that it's available to me. And that's not to say that if you do work in an hourly job or whatever, that you aren't tapped into the limitless. You just have a little bit of a channel to go around. But you start doing this work and you'll see the raises start coming in, the bonuses, money coming in from unexpected ways. It's pretty amazing the miracles that start happening, even if you think that you're very set into like a certain salary. So if you're ready to make more money, I challenge you to do it by not working more hours and changing the way you use your hours in a day.
I love that. And I also want to mention that I've worked for a few really brilliant female entrepreneurs. And it was because I worked for them that I eventually left, because I was like, I gotta do it. Like I saw them do it, and they like really were such role models that, I mean, would literally flip, you know, a tiny investment to a massive profit among these different women. And, you know, I would make my hourly. And so if you're in a place right now where you are working for an entrepreneur, it's a good season. There's a lot to learn.
Even
Take
all
notes.
my retail jobs that I worked, like I learned I was running somebody else's business. So even though I didn't like doing that much, oh my God, how valuable is that now, where I'm running a very different kind of business, but I know how to run a business. So whatever your job is that you are now, that you're like, well, this isn't the thing that I want to be doing, but I'm not ready to leave it yet. Find the value in it and say, oh my God, I'm so grateful for this job that I get to do right now, because I'm learning this and this and this. And I know that it's going to serve me when I discover and learn what my path is that's going to be for me. Yeah,
I feel really lucky. I feel like in a couple different positions I had, I was almost getting paid to learn how to run a business.
Yeah.
It was very, and to think about money differently, and to think about earning differently and what's possible differently. And once you learn it, it's very tricky to unlearn it. It's very tricky to go backwards. And so and I think the biggest turning point for both Sadie and I was investing in a course about money.
Yeah. Which I have one now. Hello.
Which leads us to Sadie putting out an amazing, amazing course that is worth not only looking into, but enrolling in and signing up for.
Yeah. And I will say, like, I know that everyone that signs up for this course will make their investment back by the time the course is over, if you do every step that I'm telling you, if you follow it through. And not only will you make the investment back, because it's a tiny investment, like I could charge thousands of dollars for this, because you'll make it back. You'll probably make it back times 10 by the time, you know, the course is over with. And maybe I'll give you an extra week on top of that. I would bet you. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's everything we talked about now, but giving you some more like actionable steps to really go through. We really dig into like what your beliefs are, how to identify them, how to let go of them, how to shift them, change them. And it's a lot of fun because I incorporate my witchcraft into it. And witchcraft works because it's all about vibration, just like all this mindset stuff is. It's inviting a frequency into you. So it's really fun to use these things in combination. I do spells as I launch courses, and it attracts the right people into them. I've never attracted a person into my clientele on my 101s or my courses that said, "Ooh, this isn't good. This isn't, I didn't like this," because I set a frequency and I set a very strong boundary of like what's meant for me. So if you're being called to the course and you have a few questions, reach out to me. But it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm basically giving it to you for free because I know that you will make the investment back like that, because it's the beta launch, so it's very low price. Next time it'll probably triple in price because I'm undercharging, but that's just because I want as many people to have it this first round as possible.
And I'm fairly certain. I mean, I think we put 2,000 or 3,000 into courses last year, like take. I
did at least 3. I think I did 4,000.
Okay, I did about
in the past year, and I've made it all back, and then some.
Same. I made it back very quickly.
Yeah,
and I have a couple other friends who looked at me like I was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you just make it back.
$17.50 to learn about money. My friend was like, "You did what?" And then my income like exceeded what it's ever been last year. So yeah, these mindset shifts.
And I'm asking you to pay 1/10 of that.
To be clear.
And this course maybe will be better. I don't know. Who knows? I learned from a very good money queen, but my little twist on it, I think there's something special about it, and it will be charging that much someday for it.
Sadie makes money magical. Sadie makes money a witchy, fun, it's like a game. It's a game. Fun activity.
That's what all my discovering divine purpose too. I'm like, let's not take purpose so seriously. Let's not take money so seriously. Everything in life, there's the universal laws that you know, we talk about. The law of attraction is one of them. So life is literally a game. It has actual rules, and you just learn about them, which actually a bonus to Money Mindset Magick is a little masterclass on the 12 universal laws. So you get that too.
Oh my gosh.
And you just have to learn the rules of the game, and then you get to play, and you get better and better at the game. You keep trying different stuff, and you're like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, I got to re-strategize. I'm gonna win this freaking game. Let's do this.
Yeah. It just makes life a lot more fun and a lot more filled with possibility. And I think a lot of people that I know, I hear phrases like, you know, oh, that's way too expensive, or I can't afford that. And even if something is not within my budget at this moment, like Victor and I both really love talking about, and Sadie and I both really love talking about, like, ooh, like that'll be exciting sometime. Or you start to your words. That's why it's called spelling.
Spelling. It's literally spells.
You're bringing into your reality these things of like, oh, I can't wait to go on, like, because I have a vision of you and me going to Sedona, and it's going to be so much fun. Not booked, not planned.
We're doing that.
It'll probably
We're
be
going on a world
pricey.
tour, actually.
Oh yeah, Sadie planned a world tour for us.
I also have my my mansion picked out just down the beach.
Great.
That Craig and I, we walk past it every day, and we're like, oh babe, that's gonna be so nice when we live there instead of a few doors down, because that place is bigger, more spacious. We get to get more cats.
I know. I have my future yard in my head, and my kids are going to run around, and my dogs are going to run around. I don't have
we just have conversations that we chat like very matter-of-factly, like, oh yeah, and when we live there, it'll be so much easier for my family to come visit because we'll have the guest house. We can kind of see the layout of the place that we're manifesting, and maybe we won't end up with that actual house, but I know I'm going to manifest a house just like it, in a location just like it.
Stop saying things like, I will never be able to afford that. That's just not possible for someone like me.
That would be nice. Must be nice.
Yeah. I said for years, oh, well, you know, with the housing market in LA, like, I will never be able to afford
Oh my God, when I first moved to California, because I'm from Wisconsin, and you can go out, buy a mansion there for, I don't know, a few $100,000. And here it's like a few $1 million. And I moved here, and I was just like, oh, I'm never going to own a home. And now I'm like, I'll own a home in the next 5 years, probably. And I have no reason. If you look at my bank account right now, I'm like, can I afford a $10 million home? No, not even close. But I'm just like, yeah, that's no problem. Like, I don't need 10 years to save up every penny to do that. I know that I'm just going to take a leap of faith. It's going to be the right one, because I'm going to keep trying and trying and trying. And one of these times it's going to hit. And all of a sudden I'm going to be a millionaire.
Yeah. So have fun this week, you guys. Get into the energy of money, the frequency of money, the excitement of money. Be grateful when a bill comes. Take it as a compliment. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. They just believe I can afford this.
Yep.
And I can. Thank you so much.
And put some, you know what's fun, even if you don't have like an altar that you stack money, or you don't want to stack $101 bills somewhere, it's really fun to like hide money around the house so that when you find it later, you're like, ooh, I'm rich. You get excited. I always keep $100 bill in my wallet, so every time, and I don't spend it, it's just there, so every time I open my wallet, I'm like, oh, but I don't need to spend that, but like, oh, I'm rich, I have $100 bill in my wallet. Just play, like, make money a game, like do little things like that. Hide money around the house, keep money in your wallet so you see it. Buy some abundance crystals, some citrine, tiger's eye, pyrite, and carry them with you. But just like everything else, make it fun.
Make it fun.
Make it a game. It's not so serious.
It's not so serious. It's not evil. It's not out to get you. It wants to go where the energy goes where intention flows. Is that the saying?
Something like that. I don't know.
Money goes where something flows. Just open your mind, open your heart to it. And you're looking at, like I said, two people who have decided in their mind that they are millionaires.
Yeah.
And I'm certain that in, a couple years time, we'll be able to be like, well, yeah, that happened.
Remember that episode when we weren't millionaires? That was
in those
cute.
Crazy days. Yeah.
But yeah, so let us know if you have any questions about all this. I'll see you guys inside my course. We'll link it in the Goddess Hang, or we'll link it below. It starts March 15th. It's 3 weeks of mindset work. So you'll get 1 week at a time. And then through the entirety, you'll have access to a 4th entire module that will be all about the abundance witchcraft. So there'll be like candle spells, everyday magic, like some of the stuff we touched on, but more. There'll be an abundance crystal guide, an abundance herbs guide, stuff like that.
I have chills.
Yeah. And then you get the bonus masterclass called Life is a Game, the 12 Universal Laws. And yeah, I'll see you guys in there. We'll link it below. And we love you guys so much.
We love you. Follow us on Instagram at Goddess Hangs. Subscribe to us on Spotify, on Anchor, wherever you are listening. Please leave us a review. Thank you to everybody who left a review in February. You said the kindest words. It makes us so happy to know that you are listening, and that I didn't know anybody who really left a review. I mean, maybe one or two.
I don't think any of my like close friends. I actually should ask them to.
So
I should be like, can you help it? We wouldn't include the close friends in the giveaway, but I should ask them to review us. But yeah, thank you guys so much. At the time of recording, there's still a couple days left to enter, so we can't tell you who won yet, but we'll be announcing it on Instagram and on our next episode. So as you're listening to this, check our Instagram. I believe this comes out on the 1st, so we will be announcing it when this, maybe we can do a little live or something.
We'll do a little live, and keep putting your questions into our 1-800's.
Oh yeah, we didn't get to that this episode.
Hotline.
We'll do it next episode.
We're doing 1-800-Psychic-Babes hotline. There is a link in the description of our YouTube video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, go to our Instagram, Goddess Hangs Instagram, and in our bio there's a link. You can anonymously fill out a form, and you have a chance to have your question answered live by 2 psychics.
Yes, it's
so
very
lots
fun.
of ways to connect and have fun. Thank you again to Raven's Eye Crystals. We love the necklaces. We love the crystals. We love the crowns. And if you guys ever want to send us any goodies, DM us. We love gifts. Thank you so much.
Gifts, and we'll give you a shout out.
All right.
Bye guys.
Bye.